you guys doing?
Great.
Is there anybody here that doesn't know me?
I know of you.
You know
That's
me?
why I didn't say anything.
Okay. I'm Bernie Flowers. I live in Howard County, and I wrote that book, Black Values Matter. I am a retired military officer, retired lieutenant colonel, spent 13 years as a senior civilian in the United States DOD, and I saw some things that I didn't like. And when it came time to take the jab, I decided that me and DOD needed to part ways. So I left.
Wow.
I was lucky that I was able to stay so long, but sometimes you just have to draw a line in the sand. And that's where my line in the sand is. On top of some other things that I saw. First of all, thank you guys for all being here. Because there's a whole lot of cowards out there, and you guys aren't among that group. You're here. I know your group has been chastised somewhat, and I'm a member too, and I don't like it. So, how do you stop people from being cowardly? You lead them. You show up. You do the things that you're supposed to do, and eventually they'll realize that, hey, you know, we do have a leader. So, this is my second speech today. I was out in Calvert County for lunch with the Republican women in Calvert County. I don't know if you guys know Tisha Stone. She was nice enough to host us. She's a big player out there, but they got Red County out there. And, well, if we work hard enough, we can fix that.
Yes.
But, you know, we had a good time. I was expecting to be out there for about an hour and a half. I was out there for like 3 hours, just having fun and, you know, doing the things. But anyway, I got a few things I want to talk to you about. Lisa, where are you? Oh, there you are. You keep changing your hair already, so I can't. How much time do I have?
30, 40.
Oh, I don't need that much time.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's getting late and Blanca wants to talk too.
Yes.
There you go. So anyway, Black Values Matter is my book. And it's kind of my rant, but people seem to like it. I don't know why. But the issue of the day is I believe that if we could get 20% of the black vote in this state, specifically in Howard County, we could win. There are a lot of conservatives out there. A lot of conservatives who go to church, black people, Asian people, Hispanic people, but they're looking to us to lead. We had a situation in the last election where we were fighting with each other like the Hatfields and McCoys. We looked like a bunch of jackwagons. We can't do that anymore. And my task as I go around and, you know, promote my book, I'm really promoting party unity. This idea of hardcore Republicans versus what we used to call rhinos, we can't say that anymore because there's not enough Republicans to go around. There's not enough conservatives. And I personally believe that if we get out and lead, people will follow. I believe in lead, follow, or get out of the way. Right, John? John's another Air Force guy. He knows what I'm talking about. And thank you for coming out. So, what do I got going on? I got my book. Blanca has a copy of it. And thank you for coming way out from Baltimore.
I read it in 6 hours.
There you go. She was the first one to read it, outside of me, outside of family. And she put a testimonial on Amazon. It's on Amazon, it's on Apple Books, it's on not Spotify, it's on, what do you call that thing, where, you know, Audible, there you go, it's on Audible. And also I have a podcast that we just started. I think we're on the 12th episode. It's called the Loyal Opposition Podcast. And I think you guys will enjoy it. The last guest was Kareem Monique. Kareem is a Muslim, and he is the guy who organized the last protest over in Montgomery County. And I'm going back tomorrow, Beth and a few other ones, I guess Lisa's going. And the thing that's cool about the protest, it's the Muslims that are leading, not us. We're supposed to be the Christians, and we're supposed to be the bold ones. We're not supposed to be afraid, but yet when it comes down to when you really want to get something done, apparently you don't call on us. So anyway, bottom line is I'm gonna go out and support Kareem as much as I can, and we'll be out there tomorrow taking pictures. If you look at my Facebook page, you'll see that the last time they had it, I was out there, and Beth was with me. And so here's the deal. We get out there about, must have been about 10 o'clock. I'll tell you, I was expecting maybe about 30 people. It's hot outside, it's the middle of the day in the Montgomery School yard. We drive up there, there's 300 people, 10 o'clock in the morning. They're in hot Muslim garb. And they are angry. And they were protesting this opt-out thing that you guys were showing up there just a minute ago. And there were about 50 of the rainbow people on the other side. They looked pathetic. And I was enjoying them watching over there sweat. But anyway, bottom line is, by 11 o'clock, there were probably 400 people out there. People were coming in. Me and Beth left. What about one? And people weren't leaving. And they were angry. Because when you start messing around with people's children, you're going to have yourself a problem. And that problem's going to start with me. So, with that said, you know, like I said, we had a good time. This protest, I spoke over in Anne Arundel County at the Cogs Club on last Thursday. And they're having a protest as we speak, right now. Other conservatives across the state are starting to understand that you gotta agitate. You gotta get involved. You gotta let people know. Otherwise, these rainbow people are gonna make your kids read this. And that ain't happening, not on my watch. I got a granddaughter, she's 2 years old, and I want her to live just as well as I have. This country's been good to us, and we need to be good to the next generation. So, with that said, I got a couple of stories to tell you. I guess I told you about my military background. I spent 12 years at NSA. I wasn't an NSA employee though. I worked for US Northcom. Anybody ever heard of it? Anybody ever heard of NORAD?
Yes.
Okay. NORAD and US Northcom are responsible for defending the homeland. When you see those, I don't know, spy balloons flying over the head, overhead, well, it's them that shoot them down. It's them that monitor them. All these, like Cheyenne Mountain and other places like that, deep underground bases and all that, that's what they do. They are supposed to be defending the homeland. They didn't do a good job with spy balloons, but that's another story for another time. But anyway, the reason I tell you that is because I wasn't just a regular employee. I had access to a whole lot of stuff. And then as NORAD's guy, as Northcom's guy, NORAD and US Northcom's guy here in DC, I got to go to all the three-letter agencies and DARPA and all those other places that you don't know about or you haven't heard about. And then when I went over to DHS, that's when the fight started. When I went over to DHS, I was involved in Operation Allies Welcome. Anybody ever heard of it? Remember all those Afghans they brought over here? Yeah. Now, nothing wrong. I mean, the issue of the day is a lot of those people would have been killed had they not been brought here. But the military is supposed to do things in an orderly fashion, and we did not. Mr. Biden is a hot mess. But I shouldn't say that on camera, I'm recording this. Anyway, here's the deal. Notice I said, here's the deal. Operation Allies Welcome. We brought 85,000 Afghan refugees to this United States. Every day, clothing, housing, and feeding costs $1,400. $1,400 times 85,000 people is $119 million a day, unbudgeted, of your money. Why can't they fix Baltimore?
Right. Yeah.
They can give these people $119 million a day, every day,
Yeah.
but they can't fix the schools in Baltimore. I bet they won't even have air conditioning in all. So while that's going on, and I'm sitting here at DHS, I noticed that the Haitian refugee crisis came. You remember 18,000 people under a bridge south of El Paso, Texas? They all massed at the same time? How did that happen? And we brought a lot of those people over here. Because the thing is, our job as government employees was to vet these people. Well, we didn't. We said we did, but we didn't. No possible way you could have vetted all those people. Not at once. Right in the middle of COVID. Right in the middle of this pandemic that's supposedly raging all over other places. And I got another issue about that. But think about that. And in the meantime, the southwest border, there's 3,000 people coming across the border every night when I was working there. Every night. Don't let them lie to you. I saw it up close. I did this for a very long time and I know what I'm doing. I'm out of the business. I left the United States government on the 18th of January 22 had a long talk with Beth and Will. And they said, go ahead and do this. And I said, you sure? And Beth volunteered to be my treasurer. And I ran for Congress. I got redistricted and I found myself out in Carroll County. But the issue of the day is Dutch Ruppersberger is not a nice man. He used to be, but he needs to go. And Sarbanes and Jamie Raskin and the rest of these rascally rascals. Somebody needs to take them down. Because what are they doing for you? They're letting your children read this stuff. That's what's up. So anyway, I felt strongly about it, and I feel that at my age and stage in life, I can do without a little bit of money for the public good. So that's what I did. I ran. That helped me, and Blanca helped me. And we started out in what used to be District 3. And so that's Eastern Baltimore, Anne Arundel County. I'm over there every night giving speeches. And right in the middle, when I was just starting to get some traction, they redistricted me. And I found myself having to go out to Westminster every night. So I did the same thing. Got out there and fought the good fight, and lost. But my problem was, my enemy wasn't the Democratic Party. My enemy was the Republican Party. The Republican Party, the MDGOP, submitted 4 separate candidates into my race. There was a moment in the 2nd district where I was the only Republican running. Okay, I'm a military officer. I got 2 master's degrees. Been there, done that, been downrange and brought people back home safe. You don't think I'd be a good candidate? Apparently the Maryland GOP didn't think I was a good candidate because they put these people in against me. And I spent, Beth, correct me if I'm wrong, $35,000 of my own money. Now we raised another 20, but I'm still a little pissed off. So, with that said, I believe in lead, follow, or get out of the way. And that's why I'm here talking to you today. So, again, I was out in Calvert County. I'm still out giving speeches and talking about my book and all that. We'll talk more about that later. But the issue of the day, I got some stories to tell you, or some questions to ask you. You ready? Everybody? Little man, you good? All right. Effective October 1, 2019, it is unlawful in the state of Maryland for tanning facilities to allow minors under the age of 18 to use a tanning device, which includes sun lamps, tanning booths, tanning beds, without parental approval. So, if your kid goes to a tanning booth, they can't get a tan without your okay. Everybody cool with that? So how come the government wants to castrate your children, have them sterilize themselves and cut off body parts, but they don't have to be 18 to do that?
Right.
Anybody got any questions?
Or have parental approval.
No parental approval. That's the deal. So you can't get a tan, but you can chop off your whatever. Doesn't make any damn sense, does it? Excuse my language. I got another one for you. Let's see. I was eating tuna the other day. I love tuna. And I looked on the back of the can and it said, this is, I'm paraphrasing, but this is not good for pregnant women. Pregnant women should not consume tuna because it has mercury. So, on the other hand, where I used to work, I had access to the ingredients of the vaccine. And guess what the vaccine has in it?
Mercury.
Mercury. So how is it that you can't eat tuna, but you can take that vaccine?
Right.
Something ain't right here. Anybody been following Jamie Foxx? Anybody know who he is?
Yeah.
Have you been noticing that we haven't seen him lately? He had a reaction. He's paralyzed from the waist down.
Did you see Deion Sanders?
Justin Bieber.
Oh, I heard they're gonna cut off his foot.
Blood clots.
Yeah. What's the common denominator here? They took the jab.
And DeMar Hamlin.
Same. Not
Yeah,
fell
there's
out on the
another
football
football
field.
player that just died too.
Yeah.
Who openly said that the vaccine caused his problem. Now he's dead.
The question of the day is, we've identified that something ain't right here. What you gonna do about it? Think about it, because your answer may depend, your children's lives may depend on your answer. But I know that something just ain't right. So as I said before, Trust Fund Baby Sarbanes, and Rascally Janie Raskin, and Judge Rupert Berger. All these characters have been basically stealing from you guys and not representing you for a very, very long time. We are conservatives, not just Republicans. We're conservatives. What are you gonna do about it? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna agitate the system and try to bring as many minorities and others to our cause as possible. We got, thank you, Gail. We got, it's 2024, it's gonna come. And the bottom line is, if we're not ready, we're gonna get run over. We got another story for you. Our erstwhile governor, Wes Moore. Anybody know who he is?
Oh, yes.
He just signed a bill. Don't make that face. He just signed a bill that says that we won't be able to buy anything but electric cars starting in 2035. Now, as a soldier, here's my thing, because they could still recall me and make me go back if they could find a uniform to fit me. But the bottom line is, there is one lithium mine in the entire United States. One. It produces 1% of the lithium in the entire world. Now, how many people do we have in this country? A lot. And how many drivers do we have in this country? A lot. So how are all those people gonna drive electric cars when all those electric cars need lithium? And we only got one mine. The solution to that is to go to some war-torn country and go right back to fight. Didn't we just get out of there? Didn't we just get out of Afghanistan? Oh, by the way, speaking of fighting, we've spent so many bombs in the Ukraine. We gave them so many bombs that we ran out. We had to borrow bombs from the Korean government. Yes, not cool. This is what your government is doing for you. And this is why you need to stand up and fight every chance. Find an issue, whether it be the schools or the taxes or whatever it is, or Baltimore, and let your voice be heard. Because if you don't, you're gonna get run over. And like I said, my wife thinks I'm crazy because I walked away from a crap load of money. But if we don't get this right, it's not gonna matter. Ever heard of central bank digital currency? FedNow? So what are they gonna do with your cash? All y'all folk, all you wonderful people like Will that love to have cash, they're gonna monitor everything you do because cash gives you freedom and they don't want you to have freedom. So I got a real problem with that. So step up for yourselves, stand up for yourselves, band together. Now tomorrow at this protest at the Montgomery County School Board, I will be there. If you look at my podcast, the last person I interviewed was Kareem Monique. We did it last Wednesday, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. He is a wickedly smart guy, and he is also from Howard County. They're going over there. That last protest that we did, I don't know if you guys know, but so here we go. All these people showed up. Asira Namani, who is a protester and a well-known internet figure, she showed up. She works with Andy No. I don't know if you guys know him, but these people are famous protesters. But the bottom line is she got the video to him, and Elon Musk ended up picking that video up and retweeting it. 7.5 million people saw that video. And next thing you know, there's a protest in Canada, and they've been spraying up all over the United States. Hopefully we can do that again tomorrow. Because we need to bring attention to our issue. Because the issue is, okay, the Muslim people, bless their hearts, they are people of the book, just like us. Just like Christians and Jews. And we saw Christians and Jews out there. But the issue of the day is, they stepped up and they said no more. They want their children to be able to opt out of the curriculum. They don't want gender queer talk to their kids. They don't want all this rainbow stuff taught to their kids. And they're actually doing something about it. Got another story for you. You got any friends in Carroll County?
Yes.
Okay, I got a lot of friends over there too. So one day last year in Carroll County, I don't know if you know this story, but one day all these rainbow flags showed up in every classroom.
Yep.
And they didn't ask, just put them in there. And our friends in Carroll County said, oh, hell no, we're not having that. So they organized. And what they did was they got some people on the school board and they made some differences happen. And when they did, you know, Steve Whistler and a couple other people, you know, Mercedes Mobius, those people, the Moms for Liberty chapter up there, they made it happen. And they got rid of those flags. So now in Carroll County, you can have the American flag, you can have the state flag, you can have the sports flag, but you can't have that rainbow flag. So think about that, because it's coming right here, and we need to be ready. Our friends over in Anne Arundel County, they're getting ready. The friends over in Calvin County, they're getting ready. And I'm hoping we're ready too, because you guys, Moms for Liberty, you're gonna have to lead the charge.
We're
But
working on it.
I know you are. And I am a member, I'm gonna be with you.
Yeah.
I ain't backing down.
Thank you, Bernie.
You're welcome. So again, remember, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Think about it. So those of us who have issues with the Muslim community, or the Black community, or the Jewish community, we are all people of faith. We are all people of the book. We are all conservatives. Think about that. Because we're gonna need every hand we hand when these rainbow people come through. If you got kids, you need to take this very, very, very seriously. Our buddies got it done over there in Carroll County, and we may have to do the same thing. Another thing, did you realize, and John, check me on this, Revolutionary War, do you realize only 6.5% of the people in the United States participated in the Revolutionary War? And only 2.5% of those people were actually combatants. So what I'm saying is less than 7% of the population changed the world. You can do the same thing. All it takes is committed people working together. Speaking of 7%, why is it that these rainbow people, they're only 7% of the population of the United States, but the rest of us are allowing them to run us ragged? I don't understand. Why is it that we're paying attention to these people? I mean, I don't have any problem with somebody doing whatever they want to do in their house, but when you try to put that on my kid, you're gonna have a real problem. So that's just me talking, and like I said, I'm kind of running around here. I'm supposed to be talking about this book. Let me read this thing to you. No, first thing I'm gonna do is tell you about Reagan's 11th commandment. Speak no ill of a fellow Republican. That's the deal. We gotta stop all this fighting and carrying on, because again, there's not enough of us to go around. When Governor Hogan and Mr. Cox can't get along, we're trying to bring people into the conservative movement and get them to vote for us. Those black people I'm telling you about, that 20% that I'm trying to recruit for you, they're gonna look at us like a bunch of jackwagons. That is not acceptable. So back to this book. Blacks are among the most conservative ethnic groups in America. Somebody needs to tell them that, because as a group, they aren't voting like it. Most blacks I know are concerned with basic common sense issues like crime, inflation, the economy, taxes, school choice, and vaccinations. I'm unvaccinated, by the way. Did I tell you that? I'm quite proud of it. I wear it like a badge of honor. Most blacks I know want equal opportunity, not equal outcomes. Republicans are interested in kitchen table issues, while progressive Democrats concern themselves with trending social issues. The Democrat Party treats the black Americans as voiceless, reliable, generational support. The Republican Party is not much better at its treatment of blacks, offering few viable alternatives to progressive Democrat policies. Liberal policies sound great in political campaigns, but after several decades of unbroken support, what has the greater black community received in exchange for decades of undying reinforcement of progressive causes? Maybe it's time to audit our one-sided political support. I offer that America's black civil rights movement has been conflated and neutered through association with the issues of supposedly oppressed minorities. This essay is my attempt to get black voters to understand that in the end, black values matter. So with that said, anybody ever heard of Thomas Sowell?
Yes.
Yes.
Like I said, Thomas Sowell, eminent professor at Stanford, says that we can get 20% of the black vote, the Democrats will be out of business. And that is my goal. And not just that, we've got all kinds of minorities here in Howard County. This is a majority minority county now. And there's a lot of conservatives out there. I was out at the St. Louis Festival this past Saturday at St. Louis Church, 142 years they've been running this thing. It was wonderful. Those people are conservatives. Now, how many of them are Republicans and how many of them are Democrats? I don't know. But the ones I saw, they know where I stand. And I talked to some of the religious, the padres out there, and talked to some different people. They seem to be conservative. We need to be at these festivals en masse and let them know, you know, that everybody can see my little name tag, whatever, my American flag. So, yeah, that guy's some kind of Republican because he's wearing an American flag. Be visible, be loud, be proud, let them know you're there. Otherwise, we're lost. Or better yet, or worse yet, our children are lost. And then when it comes to black people again, black folks believe in the same things you do. Patriotism. How about our mobility? How about, school choice? My book is about American values. The Democrat Party has no place for people like me. And believe it or not, there's a whole lot of people like me. So with that said, I'm tired of black folks being considered the unwitting hammer for driving social issues the wrong way in America. We gotta stop this, and I'm trying to start it right now. I want to get too deep into the book because again, it's a long day, and this is the second speech I've given. But most of you guys know me, and I talked about, the convent thing tomorrow. I hope to see you guys there. I'll be out there taking pictures like I normally do. We will immortalize you on Facebook if we get a chance. And if you can't make it, there's gonna be another one because they're gonna come right here. Come right to your schools and after your children. And, I don't wanna see that day come. So I say, keep them over there in Howard and Montgomery County and all these other places, and hopefully they won't come here. But we need to be ready if they are. So with that said, any questions about my book?
Are you selling them today?
I read it, it's beautiful.
Well, thank you, Judy.
Thank you for writing it.
All right. I feel like a used car
There are
salesman,
some.
but I'm gonna tell you, they're $20. You can get it right here, or you can get it on Amazon. I hope you get it right here, because I can sign it for you. Why am I selling these books? I got some strange idea that I wanna run again. But if I do it again, I don't wanna do it with tainted money. Because when somebody funds your campaign, they're gonna expect something in return. And imagine I get elected. Well, appreciate you getting elected, but you're gonna have to shut up about all this genderqueer stuff. That ain't happening. So I ain't selling out. I'm too old for that. Too angry, too grumpy. So yes, I would be honored if you buy my book. I'd be honored to endorse it for you. And I don't know, we'll see about this running again. I'd like to do it, but we gotta raise money. And I'm not asking for money for that. I'm actually gonna give you something in return, my book. So with that said, what other questions do we have? Ladies, gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie.
You're welcome.
And you think you're inspired, but then you hear a speech like this, and then you realize you weren't, but now you are. But yeah, our goal, and I'm not articulating that, so the plan that was laid out by Tom is after our forum, we're gonna do what Montgomery County is doing. Howard County